All right, guys, welcome back to the channel, Daily Driven Resto Mods. So as you can see, I have a Tanks Inc. on the table here. So what this is going to be my fuel injection gas tank for the 71 Camaro. So let me get this out. And we will got to get this, pretty much put together here. I got to drop the fuel sender unit. I have to put the fuel pump in it, run a couple lines. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Daily Driven Resto Mods. As you can see, what I have here on my little kind of makeshift table in my garage. I have the Tanks Inc. fuel injection tank for the 71 Camaro. So what we're gonna do is, I already kind of unboxed it and stuff. Real pretty, real nice, well-made tank. It's all kind of coated, kind of powder coated. So what I have to do is right here. So we got to drop our electric fuel pump in here, and I think it's like a Walboro 255, gallons per hour. And then our fuel sending unit here. And then this here is your vent line. So I got to do some measuring. I got to get this pump installed. We're going to measure down and subtract and cut off the excess and get that installed with its correct gasket. The same thing here, the fuel float sender level. So that's got to go in there. You got to cut that off. They kind of make a universal. You just have to adapt it to your tank. There's, videos and instructions. It's not too bad. So I'll get this, and then there's a couple lines. There's a fuel feeder line, so supply line, and then a return line. And then I'm gonna mount like it's like a C5 Corvette regulator filter that I ordered. So basically you can mount it up on the frame in the back and run the return line through there and back to the tank without having to run a line all the way to the front of the car. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's been around for a while, but I'm gonna do that type of system. Then I got a couple wiring that I have to do here. There's a lead wire, and then there's like a ground wire that has to come off here. So I'm going to, get the other parts out, get that set up, and then I'll just, kind of show you guys a little bit of process of, how I install this and stuff. And then once I get all this complete, then I can take it over back to the shop at Classic Resurrections, and we can actually, get it back to installed to the car. And the kit also comes with, brand new straps. It's a nice kit. It's got the filler neck here, up there with a grommet gasket and stuff. So really nice kit. So let me get this set up, and then I'll be back with you guys in just a second. So what I did is I kind of got everything set up here on my table. This actual, like I said earlier, this tank is from Tanks Inc., but the kit I got from CPP, which is Classic Performance Products out of California. I got the whole thing as a kit. So, like I said, it comes with the gas tank sending unit, the gas tank straps, the filler neck, which is here in the rubber gasket, grommet. You got a quart gasket for the pump. This is the actual fuel pump, so it's like 255 gallon an hour. And this here is the fuel level sending unit. And then this is another gasket with the screws, and the quart gasket with the screws. And then here's your little float level, okay? And then this here is your barb vent, which ends up going kind of like this. So you'll have a vent line that'll come up to here, either split this way or whatever. I'll probably end up doing this because my 71 Camaro has a stock vent system. So it'll be like connected like this, and then I'll have one that'll go up to the line that already exits up front, which is above the driver's side fender well. And then the other one goes up, which is like a canister up in the top of the trunk. So they'll get plenty of ventage. If not, they have what's called like a rollover valve. You know, all you have to do is kind of mount that higher than the gas tank, and that allows the air to escape. So what I went ahead and did is, because this is time consuming, I wasn't really going to show you guys everything, but I'll show you the gist of it. So on this pump here, so you have to measure from the front face of this, which is here, down to the bottom of your tank. So when you come here and you measure from this down the bottom of the tank, which mine was 6.5 inches. So your total distance from this flange, which is a fuel pump, down to the bottom of your filter, see right here, has to be 6.5 inches. Okay, then you have to measure the distance from the filter sock to the top of the pump where your line's gonna connect. So from the top of the pump here to, as you can see, the kind of the bottom side. So you measure from this flange to here, which is 2 1/4. So when you subtract 4 1/4, add at 4 1/4, 2 1/4, you get 6.5. Okay, that's your to cut your supply lead off, and then it comes pre-wired with the plugs into the pump here, and then this is your return line. So the return line, basically, return hose here. Okay, you want to leave it about 1/2 inch from the top of the sock here, filter sock. So I've already kind of pre-installed that. So now I just got to cut my zip ties off and then get it put into the tank. And then I'll turn around and do the same thing. I got to make my measurements with my fuel sending unit. And then the same thing, you have to kind of take this bracket apart and shorten this whole thing up. And then put this arm on, the float arm, which will go through here, right here. So this float arm is kind of going to be situated like this, and that'll sit at the bottom of the tank, you know, near the bottom. It tells you on the directions how far up. I can't remember if it's like on the sweep. Here, it'll tell you the distance down that you have to measure and then shorten this distance. So I'll get that kind of set up. And then we'll go ahead and install this. So this has kind of got a filter in here. Once I put that cork gasket on, you kind of got to sneak this filter sock in here and pump, and then rotate this so it lines up with the holes in the tank with the top of the, you know, flange here and bracket right here. And then you got a wire. So this is kind of your negative, your ground, and this is your positive lead, which will go up to the sniper unit, the Holley Sniper EFI, electronic fuel injection throttle body. There's a lead wire that comes off there that goes here that activates the pump. So other than that, and then the fuel sending unit here, I got just a 1 wire here that's original from the Camaro that'll go and attach here. As you can see, once that thing is installed down in there, then you got your wire here that goes up to your fuel gauge. So I'll kind of get all that installed, and then the next thing would be this. So this is kind of your filler neck. So that's over here. So this kind of goes on with this in between, and then clamp it, and then that slides down. Then you can adjust that filler neck in and out based on, you know, where it comes out, exits behind your license plate. And then these here are kind of the insulation straps. You know, they're kind of like factory, so you kind of put them on the top so they sandwich the anti-squeak gas tank straps. And then, like I said, with the new powder coated metal straps, it'll come up and snug everything up to the bottom of the Camaro nice and neat. But like I said, I'll get this installed, and then we'll take it over to the shop, and we'll finish it over there, and then I'll let you guys see the other progress that's going on there. Okay guys, so I got the pump here, right? So then we're gonna come over here into the tank and get this installed over here. So you just kind of got to be real careful, you know, kind of finagle this around this gasket here. You don't want to tear anything. Let me get this filter soft. Okay, we're almost there, I promise. Alright. Heaven forbid if you ever have to take this thing out. Okay. Make sure we got to line everything up on the pump here. Finish getting it in here so it can't. Oh, that's the wires. I'm trying to snake these wires in here so they don't pinch. That'll make that easy here. So we're having a little binding issue here, so I'm going to have to take this, basically take this pump back out. All right, fellas. One side. And that's what I was afraid of. So the filter sock has now come off inside the pump. So what we got to do is kind of rearrange this here a little bit, shorten this up. Get this slid back on here. This is kind of the sleeve. The pump sleeve is what they call it. This is not one of the... take that one off. I have other zip ties. All right, so I'm gonna have to make some modifications to this. So basically, ends up being is that it's a little bit too long with this. I'm gonna have to kind of adjust. So as you can see, the pump and the line in between of the pump. So I have to take this off and kind of cut this down, probably about a 1/4 inch. So that when I slide this back on, there's that sock is kind of resting at the bottom of the tank, but not squished at the bottom of the tank. So let me get this adjusted and then we'll come back. All right guys, here is the finished tank that I was talking about here. So what we got is the fuel pump. Just gonna have my line sitting up here. The fuel pump's installed. This is the vent line into your your Y, I should say. This will go up to the line that runs the stock line in the car. This is my feed. This is my return. I gotta run over to Jags and get another little fitting here that threads into. This is a pipe fitting, NPT to -6. So this one will go on here underneath this vent line. This is the return line. That'll go here. Here's the sending unit all done. There's the gas tank supply all done. Straps, parts. This is here. This is the filter regulator. It's a C5 Corvette filter regulator, kind of like a returnless style tank. That way you can mount this back by the tank. Line comes in, goes out, and then this one goes to your return back to the tank. So you make like a short loop. And they don't have to run a return line all the way back up to the front of the car. This is a high torque starter that I got. So that will go into, we're gonna take that over to the shop and then that'll go into the car also. Then the other goodies I got over here. So these are the Flowmaster HP high flow mufflers. They're all stainless, 304 stainless steel. And then this, another little goodies. This is the electric cutout. So these are actually from Hooker. So these are bolt-in style. So this will go right on the header collector, bolt in, and then you have your dump here. This gets sandwiched in between. And then I have a remote that'll be inside the car, so that way I can open up the exhaust if I like. Make it a lot louder. It's almost like open headers. So that's the gist. So we're gonna get those parts and we're gonna get this gas tank and stuff over to the shop, and then I will let you guys see the finished product after we get everything in. So, my camera's kind of going crazy here. I will talk to you guys here in a little bit once we get over the shop and get all this stuff installed, and I'll let you guys know. Thanks for watching.